Hi, I'm Chad Carnahan. On February 2nd, I entered the Dallas Morning News building as a candidate for Texas State Representative. I was scheduled for a candidate interview and a possible endorsement. The impartial candidate interview never happened. Instead, Rudy Bush of the news staff marched through contrived questions that were designed to tell the story that he wanted to tell. He resurrected the years-old and discredited charges against Attorney General Ken Paxton, criticizing me for my lack of interest. After brushing aside discussion of real issues like border or energy or elections, he seized upon a second theme, disagreements within the Texas Republican Party. He insisted that the coalition of rogue Republicans and Democrats that elevated discredited Republican leader Dade Phelan should not be challenged. He endorsed Phelan ally Angie Button, and he labeled me as a crank. It was bundled into a nice story that sounded credible, but it was all pre-planned. It was all staged. It was all fake. The Dallas Morning News, like all of us, is free to say whatever it wants, but can it act like an impartial provider of information at the same time? We live in an increasingly untrustworthy world, and we each have to be careful about who we choose to trust. So many of our institutions can no longer be trusted. The list seems to get longer and longer. The pharmaceutical companies, the internet search engines, the news media, our political leaders, our healthcare providers, our judges, our corporations, our colleges, our government, our schools. So what's happened? I suggest that the biggest of many causes is the government's endless printing of money. All our discredited institutions are chasing dollars rather than the welfare of the people that they serve. As more dollars are created to feed those cravings, inflation is destroying the lives of ordinary Texans. More money is held by fewer and fewer people. Your purchasing power has declined 20% just since Joe Biden became president. So what do? Again, I suggest that we start by identifying who we can trust. Begin with friends and family, and with their help, graduate to alternative information providers that are not tied to the government money tree. With that done, we can then focus on the last great tool that we have to save Texas and our republic, and that's our elections. The current election system is designed to be fraudulent. Invalid votes are easily collected from bloated voter rolls and mail-in ballots, and they're then stored in voting machines that cannot be audited. It is critical that we all vote, that we get our neighbors and our friends to vote as we restore Texas and America. But it's just as critical that we eliminate the electronic voting machines that prevent valid elections. The kind of Texas that you and I live in is determined by who we decide to trust. And I suggest that you trust your heart and you trust your instincts. We must continue to believe in the ideas that founded this great nation. Individual freedom and dignity. All men are created equal, one nation under God. May those principles guide us as we begin the difficult job of rebuilding our discredited institutions. One day, folks, one day, it's all going to be worth it. I'm Chad Carnahan. Thanks for your time, and God bless.